Today we're going to go on an adventure into the woodland realm. It's probably going to be a 2 or 3 part adventure, but we're just going to go and find spots, just sort of pay attention to the nature and the sounds that are making, find somewhere quiet, might make a bit of noise, just sort of appreciate it and just see what we find. We might find a really quiet spot with an interesting resonance. We might find a interesting animal sound. I don't know, but yeah, so I'm back in Surrey for a couple days, so I'm going to try and make the most of being here while the weather is okay. There's a lot of cloud cover, but the sun is shining. There's a little bit of wind, which is okay, so maybe the recordings have a bit of the tree noise in it, but that's fine. Yeah. Right, this is basically the start of our adventure. We're right by a place called Colony Bog, which is a site of scientific interest, but you can't get in there. Well, most of it you can't get in there because it's a firing range. Yes, here we are. There's an old pillbox there from the war. Let's get going. We're going to go down Bridge Road. Just the Surrey fuel allotments. That's Deep Cut Barracks Officers' Mess. Can't really see it. Right, spoiler alert, that's a Netflix production. That's usually where they sort of do motocross races and stuff. And sometimes where the military lot store hardware sometimes, but no, they've given it to Netflix for a few months. Right, let's continue on. So we're coming to the end of one crop of woodland. It's recently cleared and it's quite interesting what they do. So cut down those big trees, sell it off for timber. It's fast growing Scots pine. But they leave a lot of sort of debris around, and that's quite good for insects to live in, like stag beetles like live in like piles of wood, so that's quite good. Deep Cut Garage, where Surrey police get all their cars fixed. Look at what happened there. The newly refurbished Deep Cut Cafe, the best cafe in the area. The Garrison Church of St Barbara's. They shot the King's Men there in that church. We're probably going to get to the most interesting thing I have to show in Deep Cut. They've got this massive development going on, and in the background, that's the infamous Deep Cut Barracks. It's going to get knocked down and become a housing estate. That's not a good sign. What's happened? Oh, I've got loads of works coming up here, but here is the Basingstoke Canal. Could cycle all the way up to Woking, all the way to Basingstoke that way. But I'm a bit concerned. There's some works going up here and I need to go over the bridge. Oh dear, roadblock. Oh, I need to get over that bridge. Literally, there's a big expanse of woods. The other side of that bridge that we're going to, now we have to go all the way round through Frimley Green to get there. This is like what every road is like in Surrey. There's a big thick bit of woodland, maybe, I don't know, some leisure estate, and then a pathway to a big bloody house. 4 acres, yeah, definitely 4 acres the size of that house. Now getting into Frimley Green, but that is St Catherine's Road, and it's a really dark long road, and it goes to the other side of the woods to where I live, and it's just scary, but it's fun to ride to if you're feeling brave. And yeah, it's just the other side of the woods, but yeah. Right, good old Bob Potter's Lakeside Complex, where they used to do the darts championship. Also, probably the most funniest thing about that tag, Frimley and what, FAW, it's been there bloody years. Here we are, Frimley Green. Here we are in Frimley Green village centre. Thank you. Lovely Frimley Green. So yeah. Just a quick railway bridge. So Guildford Road. So we are. That's to London Waterloo, and that way is to Southampton, Portsmouth. Train coming. See where it's going. Well, it's a model 450-0, and it's going to Basingstoke, of all places. This is the South Western Railway service to Basingstoke, calling at Woking, Brentwood, Harbour. It's going quite slow on the fast lane. Imagine jumping on top of that, like in some stunt film. It wouldn't go very well. Get to London Waterloo. Right, we've just gone through Frimley Green. Getting kind of back into Deep Cut because we had to go round because of the bridge closure, and we're kind of going into Purbright, but we're still on the edge of Camberley, and we're going up this road, unsuitable for motors because it gets to a dead end. But yeah, this is an old Guildford road. But yeah, I couldn't film much of me coming up that one because it's a hill and it's a bit sketchy. 40 miles an hour. Yeah, apparently a couple of weeks ago a cyclist got killed here, so I've got to be extra careful. So taking no chances today. Now look, oh. It's an aircraft landing at Farnborough Airport, that is. That's near here. This road here, that way goes to where we just were at the bridge, and this way goes into the woods. One thing about this road, it's quite nice. It's one of my favourite roads. I only really discovered this a year ago, and I lived in this area my whole life. Actually, I probably have when I was little, but discovered it myself like last year. Quite old street. Properly, this road goes into the woods. That's what I'm trying to say. And anyway, just a quick thing. I might go in this way. I might go a bit further up just to show you what happens to this road. It's quite a big woods there. MOD training area. Do not touch suspicious objects. They use blanks and smoke grenades. It's all for training. You'll just see, like, you can walk in there any time. But oh, my bike's fallen over, and oh bugger, I've got a heavy load. Yeah, there's you can walk through it, but you will just have soldiers randomly around, and then they might just be walking along and go, contact right! So that's quite interesting. There's nothing about prohibitive activities about field recordings. Also, very important because it's summer, they put these up last year because of how dry it was, but be careful out there. These woods will go, when they're dry, literally go up like petrol, and it just goes. So be very careful. Don't be stupid. Yeah. Anyway, let's go. A lot of talking, but I will make this into several parts because it's gonna be a big bit, and I'm gonna explore like thousands of acres of woods. This is going to be the introduction, and I think it's important to have this introduction of what these woods mean to me and just being here, because I grew up in the woods. This is leafy Surrey, and like, it only really occurred to me when I moved to like Brighton, the city, and like the surrounding Sussex countryside. I didn't really have anything on par with what I have here in Surrey. But maybe I think our good woods in Sussex might get a lot of flack for this, but Surrey countryside is better than Sussex countryside, and I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to say that. Oh my god, hold on a minute. What the It's a Teletubby. A lot of this is actually plantation. There's some, I think, is it spruce or Douglas fir? But this is all, a lot of this is Scots pine. It grows very quickly. So yeah. Oh God, it's getting bumpy this road. You see what I mean? We all paved a minute ago. Now we're going to the woods. Oh, look at that oak tree. Look, isn't it nice? It's a little door to that beech tree. I can just imagine like some cute sort of child's fairy tale thing, you know, where it's like some wizard, no, some like little fairies or pixies come out. I think we should stop and have a little look in the woods in a second. There's just somewhere I do really want to go, and I want to get there as quickly as possible, and that's Ash Ranges, which is not open every day because it's a live firing range, but it's really nice there. Right, to continue on with my anti-forest fire PSA, it was here, but there was a burnt out truck. But to give you an idea, look, this was only a year ago. Look, that tree is healing itself. Look at that sap. But there's, yeah, this was that car. There's glass everywhere. But look at that sap. The tree's healing itself. Pine's fairly resilient, so it's good. But you get this grass. Like, it's green here, but that is petrol. Oh, some lovely hemp there. But another thing, like, there's the old glycerol. Can we get into here? Right, this is why you wear beige trousers. Is one thing, to walk through here so you don't get bitten by any ticks. Look at that, spider's web. There's a little butterfly there. You've got a lot of moths in these parts as well. I came here last night just to do a little recce, like 3 o'clock in the morning. And it was, yeah, you just get so many creatures. I just wanted to take a minute to really explain why I'm out here in the woods. And we've already got to talk about how they're quite meaningful for me, like how I grew up here, and there's just a lot to experience. It's very therapeutic, and living in a city I've like lost sort of touch of this, and I don't know if you noticed, but I'm wearing appropriate wear to walk through the woods, camouflaged. But yeah, there's just want to touch the idea of capturing this like sort of wild space, what it is, the acoustic sort of properties of it, sort of the way sort of sound resonates through these woods, and you get open spaces over there, and also the sounds of nature itself. You've got a lot of birds, you have insects, you have crickets. So I'm going to touch on this idea of ecoacoustics, that nature has a sound, and it's an important sound. It isn't just sort of useless noise. It's useful. Like the birds call each other, crickets call each other, and also there's sort of how sort of these these creatures can communicate, so like intercommunication between species, like they occupy different frequency spaces, different times of day, and it's quite, I just want to sort of capture on that and just sort of experience that, and like, I'll go to different places, slightly different habitats. So a more grassy bit might have more like sort of crickets and grasshoppers and stuff. And then a more sort of flowery bit, you know, with gorse and heather, we'll have like more pollinators, butterflies, and like bees and wasps or whatever buzzing around. There's a sound that's indicating a certain habitat, and I sort of want to capture that as well. But yeah, it's just a lot of experience, and it's all once. So you have, yeah, and also the visual side of it. You've got loads of just beautiful imagery and sort of fractals, and it's infinite. There's a billion trees with a billion different differences, with a billion different leaves, and it's infinite. It's a lot to explore here. There's a lot. There's a plane going overhead. Also, I don't know if you noticed, I was on some busy roads earlier where I was, but it's getting quieter. Just a quick one. We're going that way, and that's the way we came. But you could go that way. You could go that way. You could probably go up that way. Go over that way. There's a lot of ways to go. Let's continue. Right, I've just come to the end of this part of Old Guildford Road, but it continues on into there in TASE Ranges. But I've just discovered this little building waste that should be properly disposed of. I've got some very happy news. No red flag, and we're at Ash Ranges. They do shooting here, as you can probably see from that sign. But yeah, there's a lot of this MOD land, training land. Also watch out for ground nesting birds. Livestock grazing, never actually seen anything. And also, if you do want to do an all-nighter here, get the hell out of here by 7 o'clock or 7:45, because this is live fire ranges. It's not open every day. It's actually quite lucky I've come here today. I don't know how to know if it's open or not, but look at that. We're going to explore. This is probably... Anyway, let's go on. In we go. There's a bumblebee. I'm going to go up this way. Quite an easy path this way. And this is still Old Guildford Road. It goes all the way to Guildford, to the other side of these ranges. Just wanted to show you all this heather. That's ling heather, and it's quite common here, very common. And bees love it. It's a very slow growing. It takes years and years to grow that big. But there seems to be some sort of forest fire that happened here. Maybe like, I don't know. I have no idea, but it looks like there's sort of fire rage through it, because it looks quite bland. But it wouldn't surprise me, like this is a firing range. So if there was a forest fire, it was definitely caused by the army, and this is not always open, so the fire service cannot always get here and put it out. So if they did start a fire, they would not have been able to open it up for the fire service, so it's probably just burnt. I don't know, but there's definitely some scarred trees from it. So yeah, it's not always some hooligans that do it. Sometimes it's the army. They do accidentally do that. Oh, just pound me. This also seems to be a working forest as well. This is a special scientific area, or just an area of beauty. It's got some protection, so this is beautifully protected. It's very interesting how you have all this MOD land, you know, behind fences, lock and key and all that. Okay, I think I know where we are. That's all protected. Where am I going? I'm trying to remember where I want to go. Look at all this young pine. The pine grows out, and I think that'll be really fun to walk through. Like in 10 years' time, it'll be very young, and there'll be like little hidden patches to camp in. I would recommend staying here longer than you should. Get out, as I said, you need to get out here by 7 o'clock in the morning. But probably a really nice camping experience. You have a really nice night sky. Also aided by the fact they turn off street lights between 1 and 5 o'clock in the morning. So if you want to go stargazing, that's quite good. Yeah, I don't often come here, so well, hopefully not getting lost. I know my way out of here. It's just I'm trying to find a very specific spot. Yeah, so yeah, these pine trees will grow very quickly. They'll be, yeah, I'm not sure. It's all a lot of pine though, and perhaps in the autumn I should try and introduce some. I think there is some in here, but some oak, there's some birch. There's barely any oak in here. I think I saw there's one or two back there, but sort of oak grows a lot slower than pine. You know, these pines are probably only a couple hundred years old, but for an oak to be that size, that will be actually that's probably, yeah, probably about 100-200 years old, those pines. But yeah, oaks would probably like to get anywhere near that. Would take like twice as long. Look at that, just one quick thing actually. That rotten tree housed the loads of bees and things like that. Right, continue on. Right, I decided to get off the path because I can't remember where I'm going. I think I have to go back, but I just wanted to explore down here. It's a very interesting path down here. We've got a nice little secluded spot to do some stuff, which I like doing. I like to have my... Oh, actually, that is... Where are we going? Found a little spot here. Show you around, really. I came that way, don't forget that. That goes another way, and that goes another way. But yeah, just a quick point of reference. all the way over there is Guildford Cathedral. That's Guildford over there. Those little flies about. Can you see it? Oh, way over there is Woking in front, but way off in the distance, that building there is Woking. Can you even see it? Right, just doing a quick setup. This is quite a nice little spot here. I've got a sleeping bag and I'm just gonna just put this down as a map, then everything I do is gonna go on it, and so it makes it a bit easier to make sure you haven't forgotten anything. Right, I'm about to record, all set up and good to go before I put everything in places. Looks like the weather might be turning, so that's a bit of a concern, so I'm gonna have to pack up very suddenly, but at least I can get 10 minutes out here. But yeah, here's the setup: microphone SM58, echo machine, flanger, distortion, stereo delay, stereo chorus, powered by that, mini rig speakers for the amp. I've got a split output here, one going to the speakers, one going all the way around to the TASE DR40, which is going to have a 4-channel recording with the internal microphones and the line input. Right there we've got that's powered by USB thing, so we're all good to go. I'm just going to do a few checks, and then very shortly I'll make some sort of environmentally conscious noise, but I hope that isn't rain. Good thing we've managed to actually get out here. Also, just one thing, make sure your phone is on flight mode so it's not transmitting, because it can interfere with the recording and your equipment. Can you hear that? I don't know, that's just getting a bit noisy.